Hi everyone, today I'm going to tell you a story I found buried deep within some obscure online forums. It's a terrifying account of a Tinder date gone horribly wrong, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can hide behind a seemingly perfect match. The swipe was a blur, a fleeting image of a smile and a shared interest in obscure indie bands. Liam, the profile read, adventurous, loves late-night drives, and deep conversations. Intrigued, I tapped the message icon, and a conversation sparked, flowing effortlessly through the digital ether. We talked for hours, sharing our dreams, our fears, our favorite coffee shops. It felt like we'd known each other for years. Our first date was at a dimly lit bar, tucked away in a quiet corner of the city. Liam was even more charming in person, his eyes sparkling with intelligence and a hint of mischief. We talked about everything and nothing, the hours melting away like candle wax. There was a palpable chemistry between us, a spark that crackled in the air. He suggested we take a drive, a spontaneous adventure to a scenic overlook he knew. The idea appealed to my sense of adventure, and I readily agreed. The drive was exhilarating, the winding roads cutting through the darkness, the city lights twinkling below us like a scattered constellation. We reached the overlook, a secluded spot with a breathtaking view. The silence was broken only by the gentle rustling of leaves and the distant hum of the city. We talked, laughed, and shared stories, the connection between us growing stronger with each passing moment. The air was thick with unspoken desires, a tension that crackled between us like static electricity. As the night deepened, a sense of unease began to creep in. The silence seemed to amplify, the shadows stretching and distorting into menacing shapes. The wind picked up, howling through the trees like a mournful cry. Liam's demeanor changed subtly, a shift in his eyes, a tightening of his jaw. He seemed distant, preoccupied. He suggested we take a walk, explore the nearby woods. I hesitated, a prickle of unease running down my spine. The woods were dark and dense, the path barely visible in the moonlight. But Liam's smile was reassuring, and I dismissed my apprehension as mere nerves. As we ventured deeper into the woods, the silence became oppressive, the darkness a suffocating blanket. The trees seemed to close in around us, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. The path twisted and turned, leading us further and further into the heart of the forest. Liam stopped abruptly, his eyes fixed on something in the distance. I followed his gaze, but saw nothing. He turned to me, his smile gone, his eyes cold and empty. "There's something I need to show you," he said, his voice low and menacing. He grabbed my arm, his grip tightening like a vice. He pulled me deeper into the woods, away from the path, towards a clearing shrouded in shadows. I tried to pull away, but his grip was too strong. The clearing was a desolate space, bathed in an eerie moonlight. In the center, I saw it. A dark, gaping hole in the ground, like a wound in the earth. A sense of dread washed over me, a primal fear that made my blood run cold. Liam pushed me towards the hole, his eyes burning with a malevolent light. I stumbled, my heart pounding in my chest. I tried to scream, but my voice was trapped in my throat. He leaned in close, his breath hot against my ear. "This is where they belong," he whispered, his voice a venomous hiss. I knew then that I was in grave danger. Liam wasn't the charming, adventurous man I thought he was. He was something else, something dark and twisted. I lunged forward, pushing him away with all my strength. He stumbled backward, his eyes widening in surprise. I turned and ran, my feet pounding on the soft earth, my breath coming in ragged gasps. I could hear him behind me, his footsteps echoing through the trees, his voice a low growl. I ran faster, my lungs burning, my legs aching. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I had to get away. I burst through the trees, back onto the path. I ran towards the overlook, towards the lights of the city. I could hear Liam gaining on me, his footsteps growing louder, closer. I reached the overlook, my body trembling, my breath coming in short, panicked gasps. I looked back and saw him emerging from the trees, his eyes glowing in the darkness. I turned and ran again, towards my car, towards the road. I could hear Liam's footsteps behind me, his breath hot on my neck. I reached my car, fumbled for my keys, and jumped inside. I slammed the door, locked it, and started the engine. I peeled out of the overlook, tires screeching, leaving Liam standing in the darkness. I drove as fast as I could, my eyes fixed on the road, my hands shaking on the steering wheel. I didn't stop until I reached the city, until I was surrounded by the lights and the noise and the people. I never saw Liam again. I never went back to that overlook. I deleted my dating profile, and I never went on another Tinder date. The memory of that night still haunts me, the image of the dark hole in the ground, the sound of Liam's voice whispering in my ear. I know I was lucky to escape. I know I almost became another victim. I share this story as a warning, a reminder that danger can lurk behind the most charming facades. Be careful who you trust. Be aware of your surroundings. And if something feels wrong, trust your instincts. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe for more stories like this.